did we get to the point where we're paying for bottled water? That must have been some weird marketing meeting over in France, you know? Some French guy was sitting there, he's like, how dumb do I think the Americans are? I bet you we could sell those idiots water. Someone was like, Pierre, the Americans are pretty dumb, but they're not gonna buy water. Oh, yes, they are. Let's just tell the Americans the water's from France. We bought it.
Hey, welcome back to the Profit Dare. I'm Tim Kaiser. On this channel, we provide simple financial solutions and inspire savvy stewardship. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for stopping by. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Truly appreciated. So we've been talking about the different C-suite roles that apply to a small business or a side hustle. Big businesses have a chief executive officer. Most have a chief operating officer. All of them have a chief financial officer. Many of them have a chief marketing officer, chief risk officer, general counsel, and human resources leader. So we've been through chief executive, we've been through chief operating. Today we're going to talk about the chief marketing officer. And the chief marketing officer primarily, their role primarily, there's a lot of different things out there to say what they do, but the bottom line is chief marketing officer's job is to increase sales, to increase revenue. That's their primary role, is to make sales and to drive sales and to lead a sales team. However, if you are a small business owner or a side hustler, that's you. Another new hat you get to wear. You get to wear the chief executive officer hat as a visionary, chief operating officer hat as a person who gets things done, and now you actually get to make sales. This is an area where many small businesses just don't get out of the blocks. They have a great vision. They love what they do. They like talking about the vision. They can share it with people. They actually know how to make the product or service. However, many people falter when they actually have to ask people to exchange money for their product or service.
Show me the money.
That's where it starts getting wonky for many people. And as I recommended before and still recommend the book, Business Made Simple and Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller. He basically says in that book that if you are reluctant to ask somebody for money for your sales, for your product or service, you just don't believe it enough, or you have a hobby. You must get to the point where you're okay exchanging your service or product for money. That's why you're in business. You're in business to actually make a profit. And so what are some of the things you can do as a chief marketing officer, wear that hat as a small business owner or side hustler? So one of the big things, referral business is huge. Referral business is so huge. So if you don't have a Google business site where you Google my business, say you're a landscaper and someone Googles landscapers near me, tacos near me, house cleaning by me, pool cleaner by me, dog walkers in my neighborhood. And that's where people can find you on Google searches. It's also where people can leave you reviews. So referrals. You want people, your friends and family, if you live close by friends and family, to recommend your business. You also want customers who have an objective opinion to say, yes, this is the best taco in the city. This is the best whatever, best mechanic, best dog walker, whatever. But you also want people to actually take the step further, whatever it is, and go on Google and leave a 5-star review, hopefully. Those things are important. People do a lot of research now prior to exchanging money. Now, some people believe that business owners are all rich. And if you're a small business owner, you probably felt this before, where people who don't want to take the risk to start a business will assume you have a money tree in your backyard. And it's not true. Some of you may be doing very well, but most likely you don't have one, right? So you want people who are able to go on your site and are going to the Google site and say yes and leave a 5-star review and leave comments, because people are going to research and they're going to make a decision prior to talking to somebody. And you, as a small business owner, side hustler, you don't have a sales team to go out there and knock on doors, metaphorically speaking. You want them to be able to go to a site and say, yes, this is it. Now, if you don't want to invest in a lot of technology, some people do like social media pages like Instagram, Facebook, things of that nature, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would just caution those, because they own that information. You don't own it, they own it, and they can pull you at any time. If you get sideways with something, you did something, said something they don't like, you breach their terms of service, then you're gone. You might have 10,000 followers on Facebook, and it's helping you, but all of a sudden it's gone. Now, I would totally recommend, as much as you can, get free publicity through all the social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. But you want to make sure you have your own site. And I recommend small businesses, even small businesses and side hustles, have some type, even if it's a one-page landing page website that you own, and also have an email marketing list. That's something that people think, well, email's dead. It's not. Email marketing still is has the most return on investment of any way to keep track of your customers. And you can do like a monthly newsletter, helpful tips, tricks, and hints, whatever your industry is. And you want people to actually think of you all the time. Even when they're cleaning their inbox out, they might and they see your name, like, oh, okay, I forgot about them. I need my oil changed. I'll go see them. But you don't want them to forget about you. So they go on your website and they say, oh, this is a pretty interesting idea, and they didn't buy yet. And you have article or something on there, and you explain what you do. And then once a month, you're actually telling them something else, or you're giving them a free value add that's going to help them connect with you when they really do need you. It takes about 8 touches, according to HubSpot. HubSpot did a research. It takes about 8 touches before someone really even clues in that you're a legitimate source for them, or a business, or an opportunity for them. So it could be a website, could be an email letter, could be a Facebook touch, could be a phone call, could be just talking to somebody in a store. That's only 5. It just takes a long time. The human mind, we are bombarded with tens of thousands of different pieces of information every day. And you might think you're overdoing it for your business and people are tired of it, but you're probably not. So I would encourage you to learn how to, if you can't do it, anybody can do a website. They can. And if you get that book, Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller, he explains how to lay one out in a compelling way to make sales. And anybody can do like a WordPress website. It's easy. You can, and it may cost you $100 a month or $100 a year for hosting or whatever. But you can get free. The design can be free, or you can get a nice one if you want. Pay a little more. You don't need to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a site by some marketing expert. You don't, because all you want people to do is see who you are. Have it tell them what you do and how they can actually buy your product, and then some testimonials and maybe some articles in there. But the email thing, you can do, it used to be called Send in Blue, it's called Brevo now. You can do a free site, and you can do like 300 emails a day for free, and that's quite a bit, So you don't want to pay for email lists that are you still just kind of getting your feet wet on. So I'd recommend doing that email list, a website, do the Google page, Google My Business page, and then also as a chief marketing officer, you actually have to develop a compelling story for your business. Why does anybody care about your business? What do you do differently or better than anybody else? I mean, if you're opening a coffee shop and you're competing against Starbucks, Dunkin', Tim Hortons in my area, Big B in my area, you have all the local shops that have their fresh, organic, nicely sourced beans. How are you going to separate yours from them? And then what Donald Miller says, you have to make it about them. They're the hero of the story, basically. So you want to say, what does your service do for them? What pain point does it fix? So you don't want to waste time on people that will never buy your service. I mean, you can be friends with them, but we have to get to the point where we understand who our target customer is. So who is your target customer? Do you even know? I mean, if you're a cleaning business, you're not going to say everybody's my customer, because then you're going to dilute your marketing dollars and your projects, and you're going to be spread so thin, and people who don't even have any interest in doing a house cleaning service. Now, everyone probably does, but most likely it's going to be dual working families who have expendable income. Some families are dual working families and they don't have it. They're home doing all that stuff on the weekends and the nights. So you had to find out who your customer is. Does that sound tough? You get to say, well, you have to make a certain amount of money. Yeah, because they can pay for your services. They may need it and want it, but can they pay for it? You got to qualify your leads. Everyone's a suspect, right? Until you make them, then you make them a prospect. Then you want to make them a customer, and then you want to make them a raving lunatic that talks about you all the time in a positive way. So you have all these things and you gotta be able to be okay talking about your business and do it in a winsome, natural, organic way where people are compelled by what you do. Make it simple, make it about them, and make it something memorable, and hopefully they'll come around, and you can hand out cards and all that. But you have to be willing to put on the mind. I have a friend who's in sales, and he has the 150K podcast. And this guy's legit. He knows how to sell, and he helps people learn how to sell as well. And we're friends from way back, and I like reading stuff on LinkedIn because they'll talk about doing like 100 cold calls in a day. And this is a guy who's legit, and he's constantly building his pipeline. And so you want to be constantly looking for new sales. We have a pizza place in my small town here where I live, and when they first opened 10 years ago, they were all the rage. It was Detroit style pizza, and it was really good pizza actually. And they just kind of stopped. I mean, once in a while I'll see some news thing will come out, like a little flyer come out, but no one's talking about it anymore. And it's kind of like I have a different place I'm on their weekly. They have a weekly newsletter, and they have these funky kinds of pizzas out, and I read it just to see what are they doing, what kind of weird stuff are they gonna do for Thanksgiving or for Easter. And I don't always order them, but they're top of mind, right? So they're actually they're being aggressive on the sales front, where one's kind of like, I'm good. Well, are they? I mean, I don't think they are, because can you ever have too many sales? I mean, I know people, when you start getting too many sales, you start raising your prices to different clientele. Does that sound fair? It's life. You have to pick and choose who you serve, and sometimes you can't serve everybody. And if you came into the market at a low price point and people love your product, then you can raise your price and your customers will stay with you. That's just kind of the way it is. If you're afraid to ask for money, you're probably in the wrong business. If you're afraid to knock on doors, so to speak, metaphorically speaking, and talk about your business, you probably just have a hobby. So it's tough. The chief marketing officer job is really tough. And with all social media and everything is online now, you kind of have to be like this SEO, savant who knows how to increase hits on the website, how to do all the different marketing for different social media, pick the ones that work for you and do those. But that's kind of all you have to do. And this is the hard part that people don't think about when they're opening a business or a side hustle, is that you are the chief executive officer, you're the visionary, you're the chief operating officer, you're making things happen and making it happen with excellence and increasing productivity. And you're the chief marketing or chief sales officer, and you have to be the one who's always going out there and selling. If you're constantly doing COO stuff, you won't have time to sell. And if you're constantly selling, you won't be able to do vision, because they kind of are. There's fine line between them, but they're all important. And I use the hat, idiom, is you have to kind of put on that hat and think differently about what you're doing that day. You can't always be talking about vision, what we're doing 10 years from now. You have to be able to sell stuff today, sell stuff a year from now, sell stuff 5 years from now. How are you going to divvy up your marketing dollars? Do you even have a marketing budget? Are you just expecting people to tell people? And hey, maybe you'll get to the point where you don't have to actually spend marketing dollars, and you can your referrals will work. But that's the thing. You have to be a center of excellence for customer service. And that's another job of the chief marketing officer. Don't give one of your customers a reason to leave your business and go somewhere else. Don't be that short-sighted where you think you always have business, because you always won't. And people have long memories, and unfortunately, human nature, when something bad happens, we have a bad experience, we'll tell a lot more than when it's good. Now, if it's fanatically good, oh my goodness, you would not believe how awesome this place was. People will brag about that. But if it's just it was good, they might say, yeah, that was pretty good. But if it's bad or even kind of bad, boom, 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 they're going to tell everybody. So you can't give people a reason to leave your business and go someplace else and go to a competitor. It's just getting new customers is hard work and it's expensive. So there you go. There's just a few things. Chief Marketing Officer. It's a full chapter in the book, Next Level. If you don't have it, please, I encourage you to check it out. It's on. You can get it on Amazon. But you as a side hustler or small business owner, you're all these. You are all these, and this is starting to get tougher. Vision is easy, and vision costs nothing. We can dream and tell people our business, how we do it, how we're going to do it, and that's great. It's just a dream. And then chief operating, most likely you know how to do it. Now you actually have to do it where people actually want to trade money for your service or your product. And then it gets even more complicated when you get into the financial part and the risk part and the legal part and the technology part. So, but you chose it. That's you. It shows it, because you know why? There are more millionaires in this country who are small business owners than who work in corporate America. So you're willing to take the risk, and you have a great idea, great product, great service, and you want to make it happen. And I'm just trying to help out a little bit, all right? So I hope this video has been a blessing to you. If it has, please like it, subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you soon with a new video. Until then, I dare you to profit so that you can practice and promote radical, revolutionary generosity. Blessings.